Hi guys. Sorry. That's not the way we're meant to come in there.
It caught me out, that one as well. We'd never seen that before.
That was Andy's face. Sorry, that just.
It was a bit of a Superman exit there, wasn't it? Very good.
Right, my name on TV with a few reprobates, as you can see. We've got Andy up. He's back from his meal. We've got Tom, and we've got the Prince himself, Chris. So, Andy, how are you?
All right, mate. Yeah, good. Watched your earlier live vlog with JSGC. That was very good, very interesting. Good to have him on. So if you haven't seen that, go over and watch it. It's really interesting. So, yeah, great vlog earlier. And looking forward to talk about Nathan Ake. They always do it to us, don't they? Late at bloody night.
Yeah, what happened to the 9 o'clock in the morning announcements?
I know.
Chris, how are you?
All right, pal. Nice busy day again for me, unlike yourself.
Been in the garden. It was that busy day.
Yeah, working.
Tom, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, just finished 3 days of work, so that's always been nice. It's been nice to be in. And tonight was my return to my football after 11 months after an ACL injury. So it was a special moment to return to with the team tonight. So yeah, it was a nice moment.
I did notice that you tweet earlier.
Yeah.
Really happy. Have you changed your hairstyle again today? Have you gone for the quick?
No, it's because I've just had a shower and I just blow dried it quickly.
Blow dry.
So it's like Kevin De Bruyne now with glasses on.
I'll tell you, I do try and blow dry my hair, but I just stick it out the window now and it's done in 2 seconds.
I know, anyway, we can tell.
Do you know, JSGC was so much better than this. He was very professional. Right. What I want to do, first of all, let's get into some hellos. I do want to apologise. I did put the 6th of August at the beginning. It's not. We're live now, as you can see. So some of the comments at the start are telling me that I've got it live for tomorrow. That's my mistake. So I do apologise to everyone. But Sean Fogarty is on. Hi, buddy. Man City for Life says Nathan Ake, baby. I think he's happy about it. Is Tom on tonight, guys? Mash and beans. Oh, the Croatia fan club is in. Why are you looking all embarrassed, Tom?
I don't know.
Rubito Blondie's on. Hi-oh. Let's see. Warren Williams is on. That'll be good, buddy. Galaxy Apart. Ake is the new Sane because they have the same or similar hairstyle. Don't remember Sane having dreadlocks. Maybe it's me. Flaws. Ake is going to be great for us as we're not known for finishing our corners. Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Brad Niblock is on. Hello, all. Rubito Galaxy Part. Andy made me one a long while back, mate. Maybe I've lost. Oh, a moderator. Yeah. Rubito Blonde is a moderator. Brad Niblock, is there a Friday night social tomorrow? Well,
it's Thursday.
So I'll let you answer that if you want, Andy.
No, there's no Friday night social because tomorrow's Thursday, but we are doing a Thursday night one, which will be a live preview on the Real Madrid game. So come and join us. It'll probably be similar time, around about 10 o'clock. So come and join us, and we're going to be talking all about the team. We're going to talk about Real Madrid. We're going to talk about the 2-1 lead. We're going to talk about the lineup and Pep's tactics and everything, and plus we'll answer your questions as well. So come over and join us tomorrow. Should be interesting, and see what your score predictions are.
Flaw says for 13k sub channel, I have to say the production quality is great. See, yeah, it is. I must admit. Galaxy Apart is an interesting question. Ruben told you, do you need to pay to be a moderator? Do you get a wage for it? We're getting paid. Ask the guy in the corner with the beard.
I don't even get paid. So, what do you think?
I tell you, if we get paid from it, I need a chat with someone here. Tanaka's on. Hello, guys. Tanaka's been on now for a while. I like that. Right. So, otherwise, we'll be here all night doing these hellos. So let's go to Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. As you know, Nathan Ake has signed for for Manchester City in a deal worth 40 up to 41 million pounds. He said 40 million. And the Dutch international has been admired by Guardiola for some time. And these are some quotes that he said. Coming here is a dream for me. This is a top side full of world-class players. Everywhere you look in this squad, there are big names with international pedigree, he said. Pep is a manager admired across the world. What he's done in the game speaks for itself. The success he's had is unbelievable, and the style of football he plays really appeals to me. I know I'm going to have to work hard to get into the side, but that's what I'm here to do. I'll do whatever I can to make an impact and help the team win silverware, which just really good statement for me. So let's go. Let's start with Chris first. How do you feel about it, buddy?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of comments about the price we paid, but I think it's a really astute signing. I think he's a really good option to cover Laporte or Mendy if they need to, if they get injured or need a rest. And, you know, in the times of crisis, he's also played central defensive midfield as well. So I think there's some really good assets that we've signed. Why we've signed him, sorry. He's young, he's fast, he's versatile, and by all accounts, he's a really good person as well, which I think is important. And also, he's got a lot of Premier League experience as well, which I think, you know, coming from abroad, it can take a little while to settle in. So I think that's really good. I really like the fact that he's come out and said he knows he has to work hard to make it the starting team. That's what you want to hear. He doesn't expect it on a plate. I don't think he'll cause us any trouble. He seems like a really good guy. A lot of his of the Bournemouth players have said what a great guy he is, and a lot of the Bournemouth fans have said the same. You know, he's a good passer, decent in the air, and I think he'll thrive under Pep. And it wouldn't surprise me if in a few years' time he isn't a regular player and possibly a captain. We'll see. He did a good job at Bournemouth, I think. Every time he's come to the Etihad, he's impressed me. I think I like to look at opposition players when they come, and every time Bournemouth come, he's been a standout player. Yeah, a really good signing, Martin. I'm really happy about it. Me and Andy talked last year about him last summer, and both wanted him at the time. So, you know, really good. I'm really, really happy about it, Martin. Good signing.
Good. Andy, how do you feel about it, mate?
I mean, yeah, like Chris said, we talked about it last year, you know, on here, and we said that Ake was possibly one of the ones that we think we should be looking at in particular. There's been talk about the 41 million, and I think it's 40.77 million is the official price. I just don't understand. I mean, some City fans will go, oh, you know, it's expensive. And I've seen people on social media saying, oh, it's a lot of money and things like that. I think that's dependent on your take on whether you want Ake or not. You've got to remember, I don't think Ake is the prime signing as a centre-back. I think he's a utility player. I think he's a centre-back, can play centre on the right, centre on the left. He can play left-back, can play in a defensive midfield role like Chris said. If you think about it, we've seen Harry Maguire. Now, United paid nearly £85 million for Harry Maguire, the fridge, the Canadian Post, whatever. That was, yeah, that's the one you wanted. The one that I think Kiam said earlier. Said it's like turns like the Canadian Post. Now, if you're paying £85 million for Harry Maguire, let's face it, who is okay. Nothing special. Well, if you're getting a Nathan Ake at 25 for 41 million pounds, and he can play left back, Harry Maguire can't play left back, and he can play centre back either side, and can play in a defensive role. It's an absolute bargain for me. I don't get it's an expensive signing. Nathan Ake has got over 200. He's got now over 200 professional games. I'm not talking about youth level. I'm talking about professional games since he moved to Chelsea at 16. And that's in European competitions as well. And the fact that for Bournemouth, he had 121 games, scored 11 goals and 6 assists for a centre-back. And you speak to any Bournemouth fan on social media, they just say he was by far a million miles our best player, significantly than any other player we had in our team. And he deserves a move to the likes of a City. That's how good he is. And I think for 25, his best years are ahead of him. I think it's a brilliant utility player signing for City. He won't be our first choice centre-back if we buy another big-name player. But what we can do is, we know we're playing four competitions, cups and the Premier League. We go at it full tilt, which means we will be rotating under Pep. Nathan Ake will get loads of games, and I think he'll be an absolutely superb signing for Man City.
Good. Tom, how do you feel about it, buddy?
I'm absolutely over the moon that we've got him. I think it's quite important these days that you get a defender that knows, number one, knows how to defend, and number two, knows a league that they're signing for. I think the fact that he's played for Bournemouth and he's seen quite a lot of the tough sort of situations, it can give him a little bit more characteristics, a bit more passion. The fact that you're not always on top in a game when he was at Bournemouth will have given him a little bit more of an understanding of how tough the league is. And the comments that he came out and said were absolutely brilliant. How he was saying how we've dominated for the last decade, and the passion that he has and wants to excel when he comes to the Etihad is brilliant. I also like how he's going to try to get his place in the first team properly, and if whoever comes in, like Andy said, it's not going to be the top centre back that we're going to bring in. He's going to be another option. It'd be interesting to see how hard he's going to press for that first team, that first name on the team sheet, and of course. He is the best Dutch centre-back in the league, which is quite obvious, isn't he? So I probably get hate in the comments from some Liverpool fans, but he is the best Dutch centre-back in the league. So
that's his nickname. Now, we'll keep an eye out on that. It's called Wee Man. And he will show his worth. He's a very, very, not only an intelligent man, and he is very intelligent, as a human being, but he's an intelligent player as well. So,
do you know what I think is really important? Is something Shadows just said there. It's homegrown as well.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, when you think about, I spoke it with JSGC earlier. We're very low on the homegrown, and if we're losing Carson and we're going to be losing Stones, we're going to be even lower. So we need to bring in homegrown as well. So I'm quite happy for under 41 million. Do I think it's a bit pricey? Yes, but I've always said it's not our money. It's not our money, is it? So I'm not overly bothered, but whether we spend it or not, got to think about it this way. United, if they buy Sancho, we've just signed Torres for free, basically. That's paid for Torres. So at the moment, we're in a plus 10 million profit.
Well, the thing is with the Sancho deal is that United are not going to pay 120 million up front anyway. It's going to be a 2, 3, 4 payment deal, which means they'll probably pay 70 million up front. So we'll get 15% of that, which is, you're looking at, whatever you're looking at. I don't know if it's 70 million. We might get about 10 to 14 million or something like that first off, and then might get another payment. But still, 14 million towards the 21 million is a good deal.
At the moment, we're still winning the net profit trophy.
Apparently that's a trophy that Liverpool have held for God knows how many years.
So here's a question I want to ask you all. Go on, Chris. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I don't think we'll be top of it come the end of the transfer window.
Well, I will get into that shortly because there's rumours now that he wants another 5 signings, which will take us to 7. Pep wants to be a busy boy this transfer window.
I just cannot see that. Sam Lee, I can't see it in a million years.
Sam Lee, Sky reporting it. I
can't see us signing 7 players. No chance.
Yeah, but I think one of them will be a backup goalie. I still think we'll get another goalkeeper.
I still don't think we'll sign 7 players. I just don't.
Well, all right. Well, here's my question then. Nathan Ake. how many games do you roughly see him playing this season? Because my point is, if we get this top class right-footed centre back that they're all claiming we're going to buy, whether that's Koulibaly, Diaz, whoever it is he going to be playing in the sort of mid-table games, or can he push Laporte out to possibly go in to partner the right-footed centre-back? Is he good enough to do that? Go with you, Andy, on that.
Well, how many games? I mean, how long's a piece of string? It's one of those questions, isn't it? Eric Garcia played 13 games last season. So if you take that as a baseline figure, Eric Garcia, a young kid, hardly any experience whatsoever, played 13 games last season. I can't remember, I don't know the figures. I think it was I read them out the other day on when we did the player ratings for the Premier League season. I can't remember. It was 28 games for Stones and 32 or something for Otamendi. He'll be up there playing those type of figures for me, because you're for competition, unless we get knocked out of the competitions, Yeah. But I mean, if we go deep in the competitions like most seasons we do, he'll be playing 30 games plus for me next season.
But there is a reason I ask it, because apparently at his current age of under 25, there's only Hector Bellerin and Luke Shaw has made more top flight appearances than him. Yeah. So my point is he going to have to now maybe look at reducing that a little bit now?
Yeah, my question back to you would be: do you honestly believe Pep Guardiola said to him he's going to be a starter for Man City as a centre back?
I don't.
Do you honestly? There's a question. I mean, let's face it. He had a choice of going to the Championship. Yeah, remember there's the Euros next season, and he is a Dutch international. Do you think he would go and sit in the Championship for a year or 18 months? Or do you think Pep Guardiola said to him, don't worry, come and sign for us and you'll be a first choice centre-back, you'll play most games? No, he wouldn't have done. There's no chance in a million years.
So is he taking a chance with the Euros coming up?
Oh, I think he'll get plenty of games. I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever he'll get plenty of games at City. I mean, let's face it, if he's played, how many games has he played this season? I mean, I don't know specifically. If I look at his this season, and remember he's in a Bournemouth team that weren't in really that many. He's played 30 games he's played for Bournemouth this season. And the chances are he'll play that many, maybe more, for City in all competitions. So there's going to be and he was still in the Dutch team for Bournemouth. Yeah. So I don't think there's any issues with that whatsoever, in my opinion.
Good. Chris, what do you think?
Are you asking, Martin? You've been playing devil's advocate here? Because if you haven't been watching the last few seasons, then you will see that Pep rotates his team every game. Every game. He will play 30 games at least, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe
he's not coming in to be. I think you've been. I think you've been a bit negative towards him. I think he will play plenty of game time, and I think he'll play in big games as well.
Hey,
I agree.
I'm not being negative because he's actually grown on me now. The idea of Nathan Ake has really grown on me. Because the one thing I will notice, I didn't realise till I read it the other day, this stat of out of the 61 errors Bournemouth have made, he's either only made one of them or none of them at all. So he's really consistent in that area, which I didn't realise, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. Maybe that's my naivety a little bit, or I don't know. Maybe I didn't realise. But like Andy did say, he has, every time he's come to the Etihad, he's been the outstanding guy for Bournemouth. He really, really has.
Every time I've seen him, he's been one of the best players on the pitch. Never mind, I'm not talking about Bournemouth players. I'm talking about the games live at the Etihad. He's been up there with City's best players. He's been very, very good. Very good.
Well, Tom, for you, if he's not guaranteed centre back, could he push Mendy for left back even?
Well, that is a very interesting question, because we've obviously seen near to the end of the season Cancelo put a shift in there. So there's a lot of competition in that left back position than we actually think. And if because we don't know with Mendy if he's always going to be fully fit, so it is an option. If we goes in there and does a good shift, then he keeps his place. Who knows? We could see how it happens. We're just going on from what the guys have said. No offense to Bournemouth, and I'm not being cocky when I say this, but if you look at the past seasons, we've gone quite far in competitions. So the games that we play will probably tally out to the same as Bournemouth would play in a season. So I think he'd probably still get the same amount of game time because look, we play Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. If we continue how we have been in the past few seasons, getting to finals in the Carabao, the FA Cup, then he's going to be playing near enough, probably more games than he has at Bournemouth because we can progress in other competitions a little bit better. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, I think he could do a decent shift at centre back, left back, and obviously I think he'll get more game time.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I looking at his stats, I'm now excited about him. I really, really am. And I think I agree with Tom on that one. I think he could do a shift at left back. So maybe we don't need to go and buy a left back anymore. Maybe that doesn't have to happen because we've got a ready-made guy who can go in and play left back. And not only that, push Mender. Go on, Tom.
And I think obviously with Cancelo now, like Walker's made that right back his position. And Cancelo has sort of like pressed there, and because of Ake coming in, he's putting quite a lot of players like in demand. Like Rodri will be pressured if with CDM because he could go and play there. There's quite a lot of players that Ake can just pressure, and if one of them do make 1 or 2 cock-ups, he could be in the team for a string of 3, 4, 5 games if he gets a good shift in.
Well, I did see a comment earlier. He's going to be dangerous on corners.
Yeah,
we don't tend to score a lot of corners.
Somebody else said earlier as well, how do we know he won't be as good as Laporte, if not better?
Who knows?
Because I love Laporte. No one's better than him.
Well, all right. Who would you take? Koulibaly, Van Dijk, or Laporte?
Oh.
There you go. So he's not. He's not. Oh, there you go. So there you go. So Laporte is brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but I guess we'll wait and see.
I think it'll make Laporte improve as well because now he's got top.
I hope so. Yeah. Hope so.
He really, really has. Does anybody else got anything on Ake before I go on to the next question?
Well, I just think, Martin, that he's going to at Bournemouth. He's used to playing a nice style of football, so he's nice on the ball. You know, he can pass the ball very well. So I think he'll fit in, but he will have a lot less defending to do at City, and it will just really be about concentration because he's fast. You know, and he's good in the air. I think he'll be a great acquisition. I really do. I'm not saying he's the next Virgil van Dijk, mate, but I am looking forward to seeing him.
I am. I really am. And it's been a few years since we had top class competition in each area where you've got 2 top class there. No disrespect to Stones or Otamendi. But here's my next question. Is this Stones and Otamendi now gone? Is that them gone out the door? Because we know for a fact he's going to bring in another centre back. Go on. I'm going to go to Andy because he's smiling away like a Cheshire cat right now.
Both of them gone. I'd be surprised if both of them go.
So you 5 centre backs.
The way it's going at the moment is, I think if one player's going, it'll be Garcia, and I think Otamendi will go if it's Stones or Otamendi, and I think he might keep Stones because he just has this thing for Stones, knowing what he can do. And he's not seen it now. And I think Pep's a stubborn manager, and I think we've seen it. We've seen him. And I think Pep will be one of those that'll go, it's there somewhere, and I've not got it yet. I've not got it out of you yet, and I know that it's there. A bit of a Gerard Piqué at United. You know, when he was there, all United fans used to slag him off and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. Pep got hold of him. And then for 3-4 years, he was probably one of the best centre-backs in world football. Any team would have had him. And I just think he might, with a few years left on his contract, he might just keep Stones and go, you're going to be my project for the next 12 months or however long I'm here, and I will make you prove a point. So I think if Garcia's not signing a contract, and they're not going to convince him, I think if anyone goes, it'll be Garcia, and they'll possibly get rid of Otamendi and keep Stones with Ake, another centre back, Laporte, and then you can take your pick with Zinchenko whether he stays or goes.
Don't ask me because I'll tell
No,
you.
well, no, I know. You know.
The thing with Stones as well is that he's homegrown, isn't he? So sorry, Ryan.
That's a brilliant point, Chris. It really is.
I think.
Sorry, can I just put this up here? Can I just put this up here?
God.
Ake is the Dutch Van Dijk. he is Dutch, mate. Right, go on. Sorry, I do apologise. I thought that was quite funny.
No, that's good. I was just thinking. If you'd have asked me this a few weeks back, I'd have said, "Oh yeah, I'd probably see both of them going out the door." But you look at how many goals we've scored last season, over 100 again. You look at Kevin De Bruyne equaling the record of assists. You see Sterling, Aguero before he got injured, up at the top of the goal scoring charts, and it is the defence that is the problem. So we need to keep as many as we can. Just to, even if it's just for another season, to fill a spot until we find another person. There's no point getting them all out the door and then be left with a massive hole like we did last season with Vinny. We didn't replace him and we were left in a bad situation because we didn't have one of the centre-backs. So I can see definitely Stones staying. Otamendi, I don't think so. Maybe if we can get a little bit of profit, a bit of money on him, and obviously Garcia looks like he'll go as well. But yeah, if we were to keep one, it'd be Stones definitely because he's young, he's homegrown, and he's got some potential.
Okay, Chris, you're smiling.
Ake is
always get worried when you're smiling.
No, it's what Ruben told us about. Ake is a Dutch Richard Dunn. I
did say that, and I was going to put it up, but I left it.
That is brilliant.
That. Thank you, Ruben.
I think Otamendi will be going. Stones, on the other hand, he could go, but I think if Garcia goes, then I can't see us going buying 3 centre backs. So I could see Stones probably out of the 3 of them being the one who's left. And like I just said, he's homegrown, so that's a problem we don't have to look after if we don't. And Zinchenko, probably will go.
I can see him keeping Zinchenko over Stones. I think Stones is just going to want first team football. No, I know you said about Zinchenko, but I think the Stones and Otamendi. We know Otamendi definitely wants first team football. He was going to go last summer. And I'm not with Stones. I just think he's going to want first team football. And when you've got another, you're going to have Laporte, Ake, and probably Gas. I'm not 100% Garcia's leaving. I'm not.
I just think he would have signed by now.
True.
And that's the worry. I think you've seen the way that we've gone after Torres and Ake and got deals done early. I don't think they're going to mess about this summer, this whatever type of new sort of transfer window, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think they're going to mess about with it this year. I think they've learned from last year. They'd learned, which I've said tons of times. I think we had a centre back ready for last season for Vinny Company, and right at the end of it, Otamendi, because it dragged on and on and on, Otamendi refused to go, and we were stuck, and that cost us a chance of really going after Liverpool this season. Whether we would have is a different story, but I don't think they're going to mess about this season, and I think they'll play hardball with Garcia and go, fine, if you want to go, sign or go. We'll sort one thing. We want you to stay. I don't think they're going to dick about anymore. I think they'll, if he's got his mind set on it, and remember, a lot of this is rumour, media rumour speculation. We don't know. We've not heard from Garcia. We've not heard from the club. it could be absolute bollocks, and he will sign a contract in 2-3 weeks' time. So, but I mean, if he's not signing a contract, if the rumours are true, I don't think they'll mess about with it. I really don't.
Brendan Slasher wants to bring back Richard Dunn. I'm sorry, I'm out of retirement. I'm in retirement now. I'm not moving anywhere. Kiam, put my teeth back in. It's an unsettled time at Barca, and I think Garcia will be silly to leave, but I don't rate him. No, you don't say Kiam, you don't rate Garcia. I never knew. So I'm not that bothered anyway. You know what? I am waiting for the day Kiam gets positive. I don't know when this will be.
Well, he's been positive about Ake all along. He keeps saying, he keeps saying Ake's a brilliant signing for us.
True. All right. I'll bow down to your judgment then on that one. But I'm only joking. Right. So, is there any? Let's go on to the right-sided centre back because I spoke with JSGC earlier on this. I'm lost after Koulibaly. All I hear is Koulibaly. Who is this right centre back? Because, like you just said, Andy, they're not going to hang around anymore. The rumours are they're not going to haggle over 3, 4, 5 million anymore. They're just going to go in, get it done. They've learnt from the past errors, whatever you want to say. I think it's more naivety than it is errors. Personally, I think it's naivety.
I think sometimes it's in business. It's hard because if you've got a player lined up like the rumours were last summer that Vinny was leaving, and then they had somebody in mind, and that's all drags out. Sometimes these transfer requests, sometimes these transfer things are not always simple. You know, at the end of the day, and if somebody's going, I'm going to sign, I'm going to sign, and it drags on, and then suddenly, likes of a De Laurentiis, whoever it was last summer, we don't know who the player was, comes in and goes, we want another 20 million. And that's like 2 weeks left of the window. And City are going, can we afford another 20 million? Can we? And then suddenly, Otamendi's going. And then last minute, Otamendi goes, I've decided I'm not going. Leaves you in the shit, and that's why I think normally we tend to, under Cheeky and Fran, done our business pretty quickly over the years. Last season we didn't have a great summer, and I think this year they're just not going to. I don't think they're going to go down that route this year. They're going to go right. Okay, if Koulibaly's dicking about, De Laurentiis is dicking about, maybe Koulibaly wants to stay, and maybe Koulibaly's just looking for an improved offer, and he loves Napoli, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I don't think City are going to hang around too much for Koulibaly, and I think they'll get the vibes from speaking to De Laurentiis, to his agent and everything else, and they'll know. They'll have an idea. They're not stupid people. They do this for a living. They'll know whether they're being played or whether they're not. And if they feel they're not being played, maybe they'll hang around another few weeks for Koulibaly. But I can't see them paying 90 million and nearly 100 million. I just can't see them doing it. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, it was interesting. We were talking about we're doing Koulibaly as a big thing on the channel, and I said on one of the Friday night socials, I said don't be surprised if you start seeing rumours of another centre back coming out. City of chasing. Within a couple of days, Ake came out, and then we were also linked with Skriniar again. And don't in the next few days, don't be surprised if City start throwing out their rumour mill that we're in for this player and we're in for that player. And they'll call De Laurentiis' bluff and they'll go what
the deal moving.
Yeah, I don't think they'll hang around with it though. I really don't. My worry is with Koulibaly is, I mean, I've always thought I get it for a couple of years. I don't get the signing, but that was when we were talking 100, 120 million. I just thought it's crazy money for him. Now you're talking about 65 million. You're thinking. Actually, it's not too bad. If Ake's 41, you're getting a world-class centre-back for 65. But it's probably worth it. But if they start messing about at 85, 90 million, I think City will just go piss off and they'll walk away. And they'll already be looking at other people. For me, if it was 65 million and he really wanted to go, he could force Napoli's hand, put in a transfer request. And he'd already be a City player by now. That's my concern. I think there's a bit of dicking about with Napoli and De Laurentiis. He's always a bit of a knobhead to deal with, so it is what it is.
Was that your political viewpoint?
No. That's my personal viewpoint. On De Laurentiis, he's an absolute knob jockey to deal with. We know that anyway. We know from previous dealings with him, he's not even like Levy. Levy at least says, "I'll give you him for this, and that's it." He dicks about and gives you, all right, 65. Now it's 80. Next week it'll be 90. Then it'll be 95. He just messes about all the time.
You can just imagine he's like a second-hand car dealership. No, that car dealership, by the way.
I know they need money, but if at the end of the day, if they need money, this is another point. I heard you talking with JSGC on it. If they need money, why would they sell him for 65 million if they can put him on the market for 90? Let's face it, if United are going to pay 120 million for Jadon Sancho and others are going to pay 85 million for Ben Chilwell, why would you sell Koulibaly for 65 million? Why would?
I don't think he's got that many options because I don't think United are going to spend that on Sancho and then whack another nearly 100 million out on Koulibaly.
No, I'm not talking about United. I'm talking about, well, you've got Real Madrid.
Real Madrid haven't got any money.
Oh, you're joking, aren't you?
They can't get Mbappe. You haven't got that kind of money.
Yeah, but Mbappe is going to cost you 200 million plus, even in today's market.
Liverpool are skint, so they can't go to Liverpool.
Liverpool have got money. If they wanted to buy a player, they'll buy. I tell you what. You know what the sad thing will be is that if Napoli dick us about and we go somewhere else, and then they go, I'll tell you what, you can have him for 80 million afterwards. And Liverpool will go and snap him up for 80 million. And they've possibly got two of the best centre-backs in world football. But I don't think City will mess it. I think City won't dick about with them. They'll just go, are you coming or not? We know you're dicking about. That's it. We're moving on.
Well, just before I bring Tom and Chris here, I just want to say thank you to Ozza for your super chat. It's really appreciated. But I think the Koulibaly deal isn't getting done because Napoli are still in the Champions League. And once they are out of the Champions League, we will see movement. That could be a point. Chris, what do you think?
Well, I said this to you last night on the phone, didn't I, Martin, that a lot of centre-backs we might be looking at might still be involved in the Champions League, and there's no way they want them unsettled at this period. So maybe that, as I totally agree with Ozzy on that. I think that's a good chance. I think Koulibaly a good signing at the right price, but like we said on Friday Night Social, if Napoli are messing about, then we just got to move on. We can't be messing about and left in the same position as we were last season. He's a good player. He's worth a bit of money, but we shouldn't be just going after him, whatever.
So you don't want to put all your eggs in the one basket?
No.
So
I mean, normally what you do find, though, is when all these transfer rumours are being bandied around, you tend to find from the player and the player's agents that when somebody is chasing them, they come out and say, I am not discussing transfers. We are still in the Champions League. I'm focused solely on the Champions League with Napoli. I am this, that. That's what you normally hear from players. I'll discuss it once we know where we are. You've heard nothing like that from Koulibaly or his agent. You've heard nothing.
Very, very good point. Tom, where are you at?
Yeah, well, I just seen a good comment a little bit further back up from JK UK saying, bring back Jason Denayer. That is a very good idea. He's a good player. He's got better hair than Van Dijk. So yeah, go on, Andy.
No, I think we said a couple of years ago on here. It was one that I think I called for a couple of years ago when he was at Celtic. So we should have maybe brought him back then because he was having a decent season, but I don't think now.
No. With the Koulibaly situation, we'll see how it goes. I personally think that City have got the easiest transfers out of the way first. There's not often that you see two signings complete in under 24 hours apart, and that's around about 60 million plus add-ons and everything, vice versa. And I think they've got that out of the way now. And now they'll obviously have a budget now. And obviously it's come out saying that they want a few more players. So now they'll have a certain budget where they'll go, right, there. And we've got certain budgets for each player. And I think they'll just cap it off how much they want to pay, because I don't think they're going to look like mugs. I think they wanted to try and get good business with potential and good form, which is what we've got for so far. With Ake, we've got reliability. He's played in the Prem, and then we've got Ferran Torres, who's coming over, who's young, got talent, and could replace Sane. So I think now they've got I think they'll have a budget now to spend on the next guy. So I think they won't be messed around with Koulibaly, and I think it'll, like Andy said earlier, if they mess us around too much, we're just going to leave and go for someone else.
Who?
Well, that's going to be my next question then. Go round the table here. Start back with Andy. Yeah. Who's your alternative then?
I've no idea, because the players that were quoted earlier on the previous live vlog, no chance in a million years City are going to pay that type of money for him. Never in a million years. That was
the point. You were talking Varane. You're talking Ruben.
Yeah, Varane's different because he was around 65 million. But some of the other players that were being spoken about are 120 million. There's no way in a million years City are going to spend that. They weren't going to spend that pre-COVID. They're certainly not going to spend it. No chance. So I have for the centre back position. I know this Skriniar and everything else. I mean, this is the one I would have taken and I wanted, but it didn't happen. And this is by Shadow Rundown. He said, "Would you not take De Ligt?" Now, I would have took De Ligt from Ajax in a heartbeat, and I would have paid. Yeah, and I would have paid. Yeah, I did a full analysis on him last summer. I would have paid the full money, whatever it took for him, 100 million, whatever. I would have paid it to take him. Born leader, absolute born leader. I mean, all right, we've got plenty of leaders in City with Kevin De Bruyne at the moment, who will be captain next season, etc. But De Ligt was captain of Ajax. He was absolutely. I don't know where. I'm wondering, was he the player that City were really looking for when Otamendi decided not to? I don't know, but it's not worked out for him. I don't think too well at Juventus. I think he's been all right, but not brilliant. For me, if we could go back in for De Ligt, I would take De Ligt over Koulibaly every single day of the week. And if it cost 100 million, I'd pay 100 million for him. I won't pay any more, but I won't pay 100 million for another centre-back anywhere in the world, because I don't think City will. So as far as who else, I have no idea. I'm not going to throw a load of names in there because they're all 100 million plus, and I don't think they won't pay it. They won't pay it.
Then we're not going to get a top centre-back.
Well, they won't pay it. I'm telling you, there is no way City will pay over 100 million pounds for a centre-back. They just won't.
But this is my problem with City. I know we've had this debate on WhatsApp. We've got to get rid of this 60 million pound ceiling. We have to ditch it, or you're not going to get the top players. You're just not.
I think one thing with that, Martin, though, is the difference, and this is something that opposition fans often say to us, is they say, "Yeah, no, but look at your squad."
Yeah.
Now, I think the difference being with our squad is we don't have. You look at United and you look at the players that they bought recently and over the last few years with Pogba and everything. They spend a lot of money on a first 11. Mm-hmm. We've got 20 plus very, very, very good players. And I just don't think when you start hitting over the £100 million bracket, you know, you've got signing on fees, you've got all the bonuses, everything that goes with it. But you only have to look at Jadon Sancho being quoted at 340 grand a week. That is £60,000 a week more than Kevin De Bruyne is on. The best in world football. And he is on 304. So you are going to have, if you start paying 120 million pounds for a player, you're going to have to go into that bracket of wages. You're not going to buy a 120 million pound player and pay him 150 grand a week. That ain't happening. It just simply isn't happening. So it means then you've got problems with Kevin De Bruyne's salary, Sterling's salary, Sergio if he signs an extended year to his, and then you've got it's a knock-on effect, and I just don't think City. Hence why we have got zero debt. We are now. If you want to leverage debt against the club and borrow 500 million, fine. Get 220 million pound centre backs and be like United. where you're in debt every year. But we're not like that. We're sensible. The fiscal policy at City is to be sensible. I don't think they'll do it. I might be wrong, but I don't think they will.
Great point, Chris. Because I said something and you swear, so I know you didn't agree with something I just said.
I might have forgotten. I'm a bit like Andy. You know, the transfer stuff is like it's just beyond me, really, mate. I can't be asked getting into it all because you get linked with so many players. You know, it's just boring. So I kind of switch off from it all. Skriniar looks like a good buy. If
it was the 60
what
million.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, you and your £100 million players, isn't it? You know, you're not happy unless you're £100 million.
Listen,
you are obsessed with City, just the cheapskates, and they are cheap. They need to be spending 50 million on a player.
We haven't ever. My point is, we've never gone out and stuck a statement down in the transfer market.
And we've just prior to this season just won back-to-back titles.
I know. I agree
with 198 points and breaking records left, right, centre.
What we're doing now, we're now struggling for a right centre back.
Yeah, but I think United dominated the Premier League for years without hardly spending anything. So they said.
Yeah,
we'll move on from that one. Go on, Chris.
Maybe the only thing is to keep Kiam really happy is to bring Chris Smalling in.
To keep Andy happy.
No, Kiam.
Oh, Kiam. Well, doesn't he want Chris Smalling and Phil Jones?
I don't know about Phil Jones. I would doubt Phil Jones very much.
Well, Shedders agrees with Andy. We're in a stronger position than most in the current climate.
We're in a very good position. Yeah. You can't listen, when you've got zero debt, we've just signed these two players, we've still got money in the bank, and we've still got tons of money to spend. You can't complain with that. I mean, Jesus.
I'm not after the Harlem Globetrotters here. I'm not.
You are. You just want Galacticos.
I don't want the Real Madrid of 5 years ago.
You do.
I just want us, I think, to get a world-class energy player, you're going to have to pay top wages.
Well, okay. How much did we spend on Laporte?
Laporte wasn't world-class at the time.
He was right up there.
He was not up there. He was
right up there. He was in the top.
He was on the level below world-class.
I would say he was in the top 5 to 8 centre-backs in world football when we bought him.
Say top 50. And I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm just saying you've got Varane, you have Varane, you've got Jimenez, you've got Billet, you've got Koulibaly, you've got Virgil van Dijk. So there's 5 ahead of him straight away, even out the shoe. And then you've got
those players. What are better than Laporte
at the time?
At the time.
That's what I'm saying. What we do, and I like what we do. We buy the sort of level just below the world class, and we make them world class, like a De Bruyne. We take De Bruyne at 50 million when everyone said he was a reject. We've now turned him into a £200 million player.
Yeah, but it's likewise. Likewise, you could spend. You've seen the model with Coutinho, £160 million for Barcelona. Didn't make him any better. In fact, made him worse. Ousmane Dembele, £166 million. Absolute garbage. Wouldn't even get anywhere near the team.
Martin, I just ask you, right? For that.
Spending money doesn't make you a good player.
Now,
No. Coming back at you,
Go on then.
Who's been the most successful team in England for the last 10 years?
City. I'm not denying that.
Yeah. So why do we need to change our policies? Just to suit you?
I'm not saying it's to suit me. But in fact, it's, Elite A, Ake and Laporte, they can't play together because you've got 2 left-sided centre-backs with each
other. Why not? Two right. Two.
It's going to work.
Well, why?
Cancelo plays left back.
Mascherano and Gerard Piqué are both right footers and were the best.
So you'd be
in the best team you've ever seen. In the best team we've ever seen in Barcelona.
Because you end up like with what Carl says, with an unbalanced team.
No, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Well, how come the best football team we've ever seen in our lifetimes was that Barcelona team? And you had Puyol right-footed, Gerard Piqué right-footed, Mascherano dropped back to centre-back right-footed. They didn't have a left footer and a right footer, and they were the greatest team we ever saw, in my opinion.
Yeah,
unless there was a better one, I don't know.
Of course, and that's fair play. I just think right now this centre back we're about to buy is the most crucial signing we've probably made in 5 years.
I know, but we were talking there about a left footer and a right footer, so it doesn't matter if it's a left or right.
I think it does. For balance, I think it does.
Well, okay. Real Madrid, 2 centre backs. Ramos, left or right footed?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. You see, you love to ask these off the top of my head.
It's right footed. Varane, left or right footed?
You're going to tell me he's right footed.
So, I mean, two of the best. I mean, Sergio Ramos is still one of the best centre backs in world football.
So, if you're a striker, which side do you go down?
If what?
If you're a striker, then which side do you go down if they're both right footed? You put them onto the left.
But that don't make any difference.
You've got a weakness there.
That don't make any difference whatsoever. Do you think when they're going in and centre backs are switching over to a striker, the striker is more than likely not thinking. A winger might do, but a striker's not thinking what foot are they, and I'm going to go. The striker's going to just look for an angle and go on his right or go on his left. They're not going to go, is he a left foot or right? I'll take him on. A winger, yeah, you'll probably target a fullback, but not necessarily a striker.
I'll tell you not to blame him because I said about being unbalanced.
Yeah. Thanks for the chat. No. You might be right. You might be totally right, and other people might think you're right. I'm just saying. I don't think it's an overriding thing that you have to have a left footer and you have to have a right, because the best teams in world football have proven that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, I'm not saying we have to go and spend 120, 130 million. If you are. What I'm saying is to get that kind of top quality centre back, they're the figures you're looking at, because that's where the market is right now for them.
But the thing is that okay, who are the ones at that?
I don't dictate the market.
No. But who are the ones at that price then? Tom, you're the one who knows more about figures and facts and whatever. What are Martin? What are the sort of prices for these centre backs that you've all been talking about?
A lot of money.
No. Well, all right. Well, name the players then. I heard you talk.
Jimenez, 120 release clause.
Right. How do you know that he would be a world-class player in the Premier League?
So true. It's very true that.
Who else? We've got people saying Diego Carlos. How do we know at 120 million? He's going to be a brilliant centre-back in the Premier League. La Liga and everything is a completely different league. It's so slow compared to the Premier League. What's to say? I'm not saying that they're not going to be brilliant, but,
Mark Armstrong is a good lad. He knows his stuff quite clearly.
What does a marquee signing? What is a marquee signing? That's the thing, though. It's
a shirt.
But it's rhetoric. It's a marquee signing. What's a marquee signing? It's rhetoric. Doesn't mean anything. What are you?
Rubito says Jose Jimenez, 120 million release clause. Bloody hell.
There you go.
Apparently, they won't sell him for anything less. But
they probably won't. And do you blame them? No.
No, you've got Dortmund who will not budge on 120 million euros on Sancho, and they will not budge on it.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, is he worth that kind of?
No.
And we get accused of distorting the market. That's what makes me laugh. We get accused of distorting the market.
So if that's the case and you're worried about us distorting the market, why go in for a marquee signing and spend 120 million on a centre back then?
Because I don't, unless like Shedazay says Skriniar 50 million. I've not read anywhere Skriniar is up. If Skriniar is up 50 million, you know my thoughts on Skriniar.
Yeah.
Sign him tomorrow. I will fly to Italy, put him on a jet, and I'll bring him back with me. Not a problem with
You're
that.
quarantining.
Once I'm out of quarantine, then I'll fly and go and get Skriniar. I love Skriniar. I love Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz is 100 million to get him out of Benfica now. So it's just madness. It is madness the money we're going to have to pay. That's the problem.
It's like Shadow said here, which you said earlier, with £100 million player, that will include massive wages as well. And it will.
That's what you said about De Bruyne. That's why I'm glad we're not. When I said this is where I mentioned about the profile of the club the other day, you sort of laughed at me a little bit, Andy, when I meant, look at Sancho. He's already on Instagram and everything else because he's going to fit in like a glove at Man United's dressing room because they're all about raving and Instagram and everything else. That
well, you saw that video today, didn't you, on social media?
Yeah, in the Safari.
The private jet and his dabbing. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
City will not do that. City don't want a dabber and a clapper and everything else. They don't want that. You know, so if that exposes a marquee signing, no, I don't want it. But I still think this right centre-back is going to be one of the most important signings City are going to make in a long... Because this is the Vinny Company replacement now.
Well, I'll say I totally agree with you, but I rather than say the right centre-back, I'll say the centre-back. Because he could be left-footed. But I agree. I do agree with you. I think, and I'm not. Don't think I'm trying to be argumentative. I'm just saying. I don't get this whole marquee signing thing. I don't understand because for me it's the usual football babble that comes out. Oh, we need a marquee signing. What is a marquee signing? David Silva was a marquee signing. Vincent Kompany was a marquee signing. Now they weren't at the time, but they became a marquee. Marquee is just how much do you spend on them and what's their reputation? Well, Ousmane Dembele was a marquee signing for Barcelona, and that turned to shit.
Well, Ruben I would release the handbrake, roll down the hill to pick Skriniar up if he's going for 50 million, a cheeseburger and all for him. So
I think we'd push your car, mate.
But I'd say Kian made a good point here, and this is the problem with the market. I need to find it. Sionko was a great shout for Leicester.
Yeah.
But they're going to want really silly money now.
Well, why not just go for your shout, Lewis Dunk?
Luis Dunkinho.
Well, you wanted Lewis Dunk, and according to that journalist on Goal who said Ake's a crap signing for City, and you could have got Lewis Dunk for 1/10 of the price, which means he's available for 4.1 million. Why don't we go for Lewis Dunk if he's only going to cost 4.1 million, according to this Goal journalist? Well, I can't remember what his name is. I will give him a shout out because he talks absolute shite. So it's definitely worth a shout out to this guy.
168 people that are watching. This is Andy and his political views.
No, this is Ronan Murphy. Ronan Murphy, if you want to go over, is at Swear I'm Not Paul, all lowercase. He turned around and basically said, Nathan Ake is extremely overrated. Fee is astronomical at 40 million. Could have got Lewis Dunk for 1/10 of the price to probably do a similar job. So apparently, according to this Goal journal, Lewis Dunk is on the market for £4.1 million. So I think we should go out and get Lewis Dunk because Lewis Dunk is actually a good shout. And you've always wanted Lewis Dunk, Martin. Yeah,
but good player. He'd have been my guy in Slovakia. Chelsea want Lewis Dunk. He'd have been my Ake signing.
Sell Stones then and get Duncan for 4.1 million. We'll make another 16 million if we get 20 million for Stones. We'll be proper net spend trophy winners, won't we, this year?
Well, anyway, all right. So there's the centre backs we're on. Is there anywhere else you guys want to talk about?
We haven't got a centre back yet. We don't know.
Well, we don't know.
Who's the centre back?
All we can do is reel off a list of names.
Tom will give us a centre back. Tom, come on. He'll give us a centre back.
I was just going to say that the thing is, when people say the next guy that's coming in is going to be the Vincent Kompany replacement, you're asking somebody to come in to put a 10-year shift in be your captain, your leader in the dressing room, your assistant manager, your leader, your everything, the father figure. Koulibaly is 29, and as much as I'd like him to come, you're going to get 3 or 4 years out of him. Can you call that a marquee signing? He's not going to have any sort of comparison to Vincent Kompany. Number one, it's putting pressure on him by having Vinny being up against Vinny. But yeah, whoever comes in, it needs to, as long as they put in a good shift and solves the centre back problem for 3, 4, 5 years, however long, then that's what we need. We don't need a Vincent Kompany replacement because you're never going to get that ever again. Because Vincent Kompany is just one of the best leaders in the world and will be put down in history as by far one of the best captains in world football. So it's going to be hard to replace him anyway, no matter who we get, whether he's 120 million, 90 million, or 4.85 million from Lewis Dunk. It's going to be impossible to replace him.
That's a really good point you've just made there, Tom. It's a very, very, very good point. Like you said there about Vincent Kompany's, his character, his status was built up over 10 years. My question back to you three then is this. Do you think City are that far off with our centre-back pairing for Laporte, the person, whoever this may be? If it's not Ake and it's got to be somebody else, do you really think we are that far off that we have to spend £100 million on a centre-back to make our defence solid enough to win a Champions League, let's say if we don't win it this year, and a Premier League again? Do you really think we need £100 million plus defender, centre-back? Make our back four. Now we've got Ake who can play left-back as well. Can rotate, which means people will get a rest as long as Laporte stays fit. Do you think we really, really, really need £100 million type of marquee signing or centre-back to make our defence that much better for us to win the Premier League next season or win a Champions League if we don't this season? Because let's face it, if we were to win the Champions League this year, we'll have won it with possibly one of the worst defence we've had in a number of years. And isn't the Champions League the best trophy you're supposed to win? I don't know. Question to you three.
Well, Vinny Kompany never cost £100 million, did he?
Nope.
He's nowhere near it. And this is the point. Players coming in won't immediately become a leader. You don't become a leader of Sergio Aguero or, anybody who's been at the club a long time. You don't just step into a dressing room and suddenly become the man, top dog. That doesn't work, You have to get there by your actions. So it could be that I don't think we need to spend £100 million. I think we can, as we've proved in the past, we can go out and find a decent centre back at a more reasonable rate than £100 million. And I don't think a marquee signing is a centre back. I think a marquee signing would be someone who's going to replace Sergio Aguero. God knows who that is.
I'm with you on that.
Well, I'll come on to that in a minute if you want about Sergio Aguero, his replacement. Because according to reports now, we're going after, well, this is Sky. I'd even saying it tonight. He said it from 9:45 this evening, that they're still after Martinez and João Felix.
Well, I said in your thing before, the rumours I heard was Gabriel Jesus plus £40 million for Lautaro Martinez. I posted that in your live log earlier with JSGC. That was the rumours I've heard.
The really City, Sky, and everyone tonight are really pushing on. There is still another 4 to 5 players to walk into this squad yet. Now, one of them is a forward. There's rumours he's definitely still wanting a centre mid, which baffles me a lot. It baffles me why this centre mid rumours will not go away. So, and I posed this question to GSGC earlier: is there somebody leaving we don't know about?
I don't think it's Bernardo. I don't think it's Bernardo.
Who is it then? Chris, because if we're going after another centre mid or a someone's got to be going out the door here because we can't fit everybody in, can we? Or am I just being?
Well, well, you listen to the media, don't you? That's part of the problem.
No,
we're getting
the
7 players in.
The media now, Chris, are right. They're right. They mentioned Ake and Torres months ago, and they're in the door. So
they never mentioned it months ago, Martin. What you're saying is they're going to be 7 new players in, and we're going to be buying £100 million player. There's £300 million in the transfer kitty. That's never come out of City. That's not once as Manchester City come and said, Pep's got 300 million to spend, and we want 7 players.
I never said it.
It comes from the press. And why do you think the press why? No, let me finish, Martin. Let me finish. Don't overtalk me. Why do you think the press, right? What I say, City wants 7 players. They got £300 million. It's not for positive clicks, It is to put us down, mate. Wake up to it, mate. Wake up to it.
I'm not saying it to it, but what I'm saying is that the rumours that people have said, and I know people not always agree with it, but Sam Lee and everything else. Everything Sam Lee said in the last 4 weeks has come true. It has come true. He said Torres before anyone. He said Ake before anyone, and they're in the door. The sign.
Sam Lee never claimed Ake first.
Well, he did on the podcast I listened to.
No chance.
I understand people say the paper's right, whatever, but clubs do leak out stuff. They do. People talk. People do talk. The closer clubs don't come out. No club comes out and goes, we want 8 or 9 players. Of course they don't. But they get it from somewhere.
Yeah. The delusional mind. Their sub-editor. Their sub-editor. Give us some headlines. Well, that's like. Well, listen. Remember, don't forget, and this is one thing, and this is one thing. Don't forget, and this is fact. Okay, last year I posted, or it might have been about 18 months ago. I read an article on transfer rumours. It was a study that was done on transfer rumours. Yeah, 94.1% of it was absolute bullshit. They found over a whole year of transfer rumours. 4-point-something%. There was something there or thereabouts, and 1.3% of them ever came true. And that was a study, an independent study done on transfer rumours over 12 months throughout Europe. So 94.1% of them, something was absolute bollocks. There was nothing in it whatsoever. And about 4% there was we're looking at this target, this target, this target, and this target. And the person was maybe one of the targets. And only 1.3% or something of the rumours that media journalists put out there actually come true. And that, for me, says it all. And I don't think it's changed in the last 18 months. If not, I think it's probably even more bullshit. That's my opinion on transfer rumours.
Go on, Tom.
No, I was just going to say, when you talked about we need another centre mid, I think we do. Because you have to remember, everybody's saying we've got Phil Foden's David Silva's replacement. You're still losing a player that was playing week in, week out in big games. We're losing another player in that position. Bernardo's probably going to go out back onto the wing. Now we've brought Varane in because we'll have Varane, and we've got support up there now. The thing is, you look at Gundogan. He's more of a defensive mindset now. I see him more as a defensive midfielder, and look at David Silva. He's probably going to be playing in team news. We're obviously going to talk about that another time. But for the Madrid, he might be playing against Madrid, and things like that. So he's an important player. So I do think we need another midfielder, certainly a central midfielder. Yeah, you are. I can tell. It's brilliant.
Wow. This is all your fault, Mr. Baker.
Well, you deserve it.
I only mentioned there's a number of outlets saying we're after 7 players, and it's like I've written them. I've not.
No, your comment was no. Everything he says is true. Oh no.
I said what I said in the last few weeks has been.
It's true.
The last few weeks has turned out.
It's hit and miss. Listen, it's the old. A stop clock is right twice a day. Throw enough darts, you'll hit a bullseye. It's one of those.
Sorry, let me get rid of somebody.
It's easy to you can get rid of that one as
Well,
well.
Abdullah says he's going to go. That's doubtful, mate. He's just signed a new contract and he's Pep's.
Yeah, I mean, it would. You know what? That wouldn't surprise me. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if Gundogan went because we got him on a longer term contract and we might get some decent money for him. But
yeah,
Pep does like him, though, doesn't he? I mean, we know that.
Anybody else want to say anything on transfers?
No.
Well, Kian.
Yes, striker.
Well, striker. I said about João Felix or Lautaro Martinez, and I got a right blasted.
That's where he gets it from. Yeah, Starbuck FC news outlet. Well, you said two, didn't you? Well, we mentioned Martinez.
Starbucks.
João Felix.
City did want him 2 years. Was it last year?
Yeah, they did. I think that's probably gone now, if I'm honest. But I liked him, I must admit, at the time. But the money was ridiculous for him. City were never going to do that.
Okay, would you sell Jesus to bring in another forward?
Depends who it is. If you said Mbappe, yeah.
Thank you again, Alan, for your super chat. Chris, let's go to you. Seeing as I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you speak, buddy.
What do you want to know?
Striker. You know,
the meaning of life.
Are you half asleep down there?
Just be happy. Well, you are boring me. Yeah, it's just to be happy, Andy, that's all. I would. I'm not sure on strikers. I don't know enough about Martinez. Oh, yeah, well, he's doom-heading. Someone's just put a Aubameyang there. So you're interrupted again. I do think we need a striker. Mbappe is obviously the dream, isn't he?
Oh, God.
If it's true that Haaland is up next year, if he's available from next year, then I wouldn't mind saving the money and going after Haaland because I don't think Mbappe will come to us. I think if we go anywhere, it'll be to Madrid. Yeah, that's where I'd be looking. Or Harry Kane.
That's a good question, Harry Kane, because there's. I mean, I've seen on the Spurs social media sites a few journalists, respected journalists, have actually come out questioning Spurs fans, going, "Do you honestly believe that Harry Kane will stay there another season if they don't win anything? Do you really honestly believe he's going to waste his career at Spurs under Mourinho with boring football? Do you honestly believe he's going to waste his whole career at Spurs? And remember, there's the Euros next year. Yes, he's still banging in goals, but Jesus, he's a footballer. He wants to win something. Well, for the last 2 years, there's been the rumours 2 years ago, United was sniffing around him. Oh, well, I'll give it another year, see if we win something. Win nothing. You know, they had the disappointment of the Champions League final. Then this year, nothing. How long is Kane realistically going to keep giving? And under Mourinho again for another year knows the football ain't going to be great. How long really is he going to hang around?
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, what's better than Citizen Kane? You know?
Citizen Kane. Oh, they are. You could be Martin's sub-editor.
I couldn't I? Yeah, definitely.
Martin comes up with the rumours. You can write the headlines.
Oh God!
What's up?
I don't know what we haven't. Sorry, I don't know what we ain't got the guts to admit here.
Yeah, I was just going to say these deals that are involving Jesus, it concerns me because Aguero, hopefully a year, maybe another year, but Aguero's going to leave at some point, and we'll be back to the same problem again. But we'll just have, I don't know, somebody else. So if Jesus goes out the door for somebody to come in, we'll be back in the same position. We still are in the same position because the whole point we were bringing somebody else in was to support Jesus and Aguero up front. But if we're using Jesus in a transfer deal, then we're still in the same problem because we were supposed to be bringing somebody in as Aguero's replacement, yet we're getting rid of Jesus and we'll be only left with one striker.
Well, I mean, there's rumours that Aguero's going to sign an extended contract.
Yeah. So
you're still ending up with 2 strikers, aren't you?
Yeah.
For another year, which is maybe, like Chris said, if Haaland is not going to go anywhere this year and maybe next year, maybe that might be a perfect. But yeah, I mean, I take your point. Mate. It's somebody's just put here. I don't get this at all. John Law, Kane's too slow and not got the City work ethic. Kane works his absolute socks off.
He does.
And he's certainly not slow. Have you seen him go around the outside of players?
Does have injury problems, though. That's my worry.
Well, he has just recently. And so
does Sergio.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Ruby Top Blonde. Sorry, I've got to put this up. # free Martin from the
Never.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that a lot.
How do we put? Can we block a mod? Can
You kicked me out once, and I've got the actual login on the channel, and you kicked me out. Well, Hedgehog Gaming, we know he's a United fan, but he's a sensible United fan. Kane has had his chance to move, 2 injury prone to justify the 100 million plus price he would cost.
You're joking, aren't you? Right, okay. Right, let's just take a look. Let's just take a look at Harry Kane. He might be right. He might be totally right, and I might be totally wrong. Let's just take a look at Harry Kane.
Come on, there's nearly 200 people there.
They don't have to wait. You can continue. You don't have to wait for me.
Yeah, whilst Andy's finding that, I was just going to say, if we'd like the rumours and all that, I will take the true rumour saying that Harry Kane could be City's player, because I said it at the start of lockdown, all the way back in March. So I'm going to take that one, Martin. So, yeah, if you like your rumour, take that one.
Right, well, there you go. This is Harry Kane, who's injury prone. He's played 34 times for Spurs. Remember, they did go all the way this season in all the cup competitions and everything else. So bear that in mind. He's played 34 times, scored 24 goals and 2 assists. Does that 34 times, 24 goals sound like somebody who's injury prone and rubbish?
He's injury prone.
Yeah. He's played 29 Premier League games and 5 Champions League games. 29 Premier League games, 18 goals, 2 assists. Champions League games, 5, scored 6. And that's injury prone. But I think Sergio's only played 30 games this season.
But again, you're talking about Napoli and dealing with De Laurentiis. You then got to go and deal with Daniel Levy.
Oh yeah, I mean that's of course. No, and it'd be a fortune. He will be 120, 140 million quid. There's no doubting about it.
Doesn't want £100 million pound players.
Don't forget.
No, we're talking about striker. We're talking about striker here, not centre back. There is a massive difference. What was that?
I'd still. I'm not going to bring that up. All right, I'll have to because it's a super chat, so I'm going to have to. What? Haircut, Tom. What is that?
Listen, I had a shower. I've just come back from football, and then I commit myself to come on here, so it's completely not even right. As soon as it starts, it's all the way back. Don't worry, it'll be sorted for the next time I'm on.
Where'd you get late night entertainment like this, guys?
It's a bloody disgrace. Sort your hair out. Now, wait till I have a word with your dad next time I see him.
I keep hearing about the show.
It looks better than that Phil Foden cut. That's for certain.
Yeah.
I do like Lautaro Martinez. I do. But the problem is, again, he's got. I think he's got a 1-2 record currently. I might be wrong on that. I'm sure he's got a 1-2 record at the moment. But the problem is, you're going to take a chance on any striker, aren't you, outside of the Premier League? And if you're talking a lot of money, a lot of money.
And you're talking a replacement for Sergio Aguero in the future, and or at the moment maybe a Gabby Jesus. But
I've always said you're never going to find another Aguero.
No,
never going to find it.
I mean,
very much like Tom said, you're never going to find another company.
He's not injury prone because he's played 46 times so far this season. 19 goals, 6 assists.
Yeah, so just under 1 and 2 in two.
Is
that 19 in the league or 19 in total?
That's 19 in. Yeah, that's in total. I'm just.
Here's a cheap one for you, Chris. The HE FIFA go for rings. You get him nice and cheap. Cheap as chips.
He's done all right, though. He's done all right, you know. He's not had a bad season.
Who's that?
Danny Ings.
Danny Ings.
It's had a bloody good season. Very good. In the Southampton team.
Tom, looks good, mate. Trust me, you're the style on this stream.
Only because he said my hair looked like Warburton's fit cut.
Tell you what we could do.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put that up. I tell you what we should do. If City win the Champions League, how about 59 that'd be a good thing, wouldn't it?
No, how about you running around naked? Did you not tell us when Cheeky and Ferran?
I can't.
Still waiting for that one.
Yeah, Cheeky and Ferran. Come on.
See, now someone said here about Haaland, Kevin S. I'd like Haaland, but again, you're going down the Sancho. I'm not going to mention the A word because I'll have Andy coming at me about it. Attitude.
Yeah,
Haaland.
Not having
I
that.
know, but have you heard his interviews? He snaps interviews.
Don't make any difference. I don't give two shites about attitude, honestly. And let's face it, how many times as fans do we go, that interviewer, I'd knock him out if he was talking to me like that and ask such pathetic questions. And yet when somebody does say something about, oh no, he's rude, it's this snowflake society. Most of the journalists ask the most benign bullshit questions, or they ask questions to wind them up. As soon as a player actually says something back to a journalist, everyone's on the player's back, and it's like they can't win. They cannot win. So I'm not going to turn around and say, yeah, I wouldn't have him at City because remember when he put that journalist down in the tunnel? No way. Not having him. No.
Okay.
I don't know him. That's why I never talk about attitude of players.
Well,
I don't understand why you think he's got a bad attitude.
Who?
Haaland.
Like I said, I don't know. I'm only going off the interviews that I've seen.
Sam Lee.
No, not Sam Lee. And off his Instagram and everything else. You said about Sancho and Haaland is very much the same sort of.
Yeah, but Sancho, we know what he did to Man City. We know what he did to City. That's fact.
Oh, I think Haaland's
we don't know. We don't know Sancho. He might be a lovely guy, and he just likes dabbing and going on making videos and playing. But we know that he did turn up for training for weeks, and we know that he refused to catch the plane on the preseason. We know all that. Whether even that's so bad or not, we don't know. But I mean, you can't.
I know what you're saying about attitude.
Half of the media stuff is garbage.
I
do think half the media stuff is nonsense.
It's like you heard about that Pep City like a profile, don't they? It's a certain profile that they like. They call them profiles. And they've got to fit into this Pep system, on and off the pitch, whatever that means.
Well. I tell you what. Here's a prime example. There was on social media. There was that profile. You talk about Haaland. There was that profile of him. He was coming out of a club back in.
Yeah.
And they were him and his mates, and they were trying to make it out. Oh, he was chucked out of a club, and there was just a picture of him turning around when there was a security guard there. For all we know, one of his mates might have been talking. He might have been talking to the security guard. What was the next day? What did his father come out and say? He was laughing and joking, going, "I think it's time you come back to the farm." And then what was the picture the next day of him? His top's off, and he's on a tractor mowing a field. Is that a bad attitude? He wasn't on a private jet like Jadon Sancho, dabbing and jumping off yachts and things. He was on a farm on a tractor with his shirt off in his scruffs doing the farming with his dad on the farm that he owns. So it can't be that bad a kid. And let's face it, what were you like at that age?
I was a good little boy. I had my Horlicks and I was in by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, sure.
Of course you
That's
were.
what they all say.
Yeah. That's how you got a bad back, innit? We know what you were up to.
That's for not this sort of stream. Right, has anyone else got any more ideas on forwards before?
What streams are you on about?
Right. Anyone else on forwards? No?
No, yeah,
No.
good.
Has anyone got anything they want to do before we wrap this up? Say a few goodbyes. Hello. Hello.
No, I was just sorry. I was just reading the comments coming through then. I missed that.
Right, what we'll do is we'll say some goodbyes.
I certainly wouldn't be this one. Yeah, he's a good player. I think Sadio Mane is the only player I'd take at City. Sean Fogarty, go and wash your mouth out. He's had a good season, though. He has had a good season.
Good player, lad. Chris is not amused, says Ocean Rage. Can you tell that as well at the moment?
Olivier Giroud. Don't know about that.
Headshot Gaming. Honestly, think that. Oh, that went. I was reading that.
Sorry, mate. Go
on. I've lost it now. Headshot Gaming. I was sitting there and I give up here.
Sorry. You asked for that. You asked for it. Go on. I'm only joking.
Andres Pereira would be a good player for us.
Who?
Andreas Pereira at United.
Andreas. That was a nice pronunciation there, man.
I was trying to, I get called for my pronunciations.
Andreas. Pronounce that one for us.
That's gone quiet, answer.
No, thank you.
Why?
Awa.
I like him.
Right, it's the same old though, isn't it?
Has he got a bad attitude?
Yeah, they can't have him because he's a bad attitude. He plays in an 8 role and a wing role. Whose place is he going to take? Do you want to swap Mahrez for Awa?
No. Nope. Never.
No, I'd swap him for a bag of minstrels.
No, Awa, I don't think it's. We don't need an Awa. I tell you what, centre midfielders you talked there earlier mentioned anything. You said City are in the rumour. City are in for a midfielder and things like that. If we're gonna get 17 new players this season and completely replace the squad, there is one midfielder I definitely would buy, and I'd pay the full money for him.
Who?
Havertz.
Yeah.
Going to Chelsea though, isn't he?
And if he goes to Chelsea, I don't know, because at the moment it looks like everything's suddenly stalled with that. I would definitely buy Havertz, but the problem being is we always say whose place it's going to,
I think that's a quality comment. The one that by it's a switch him for Gundogan, Havertz for Gundogan. That'd be quality.
It's not going anywhere.
It's a very good deal. That
you're not going to get a lot for Gundogan, are you? You'd probably get
not going to sell him.
25-30 million. Maybe.
We're gonna get 70 million for Gundogan when he leaves, and that'll be when he's 36.
I mean, that's a shout. It's a shout. Jordan Henderson.
I'd say Thiago, says CJ11 James. Isn't he going to Liverpool?
Yeah.
Well,
that's their side, isn't it?
Alcantara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the rumours now, yeah.
Conor Martin, pronounce that for us in a Spanish accent. Bear in mind, you've been over those neck of the woods.
Thiago Alcantara.
Very good.
What was that?
Thiago.
Do that one again.
Thiago Alcantara.
That was Italian. Thiago Alcantara.
Bless him.
Right. Guys, anyone else?
We're done.
Just want to say thank you to Andy coming on, Tom for coming on, Chris for coming on. Guys, if you have not checked out the JSGC stream from earlier, please go and check it out. A reminder, we are back tomorrow night. What time, Andy?
Be around 10 o'clock-ish.
10 o'clock live with our Real Madrid preview. Real Madrid, or Real Madrid, as they call it. My Spanish accent is in full force.
Vamos.
So please, guys, hit the thumbs up button. The stream has gone to absolute pop for the last 15 minutes. I don't know what's going on here. But hit the like button, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Go and check out my chat with JSGC earlier. He was an absolute brilliant young lad, superstar, top blue. Go over and check out his channel and help him get over to that 10K mark for him.
But don't forget to subscribe to us as well.
I've just said, subscribe to us as well. Yeah, we're on our march to 15K, or as Kiam calls it, the march to 1 million. That's what we're doing. FIFA knows out on Friday morning from Kiam, and we'll be back tomorrow at was it 10:30? You said? Was it again 10? 10:30.
Out 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
So, guys, thank you very much for all your super chats, all your likes, all your comments. We started off talking about Nathan Ake, and we ended up talking about the other 3,000 plays that we've
Lewis
been
Dunk.
And I got shouted at by Chris as well. So you got a bit of extra there for you.
You're getting a slap next time I see you.
Not an happy bunny tonight, is it? Not an happy bunny. Guys, have a great evening. Rubito, thank you for modding for us, buddy, and Kiam, pair of superstars. Have a great evening. We'll be back live tomorrow with you here on Man City Man TV. I'm Martin, that's Chris, that's Tom, that's Andy. And as always, up the Blues. Take care, guys. Good night.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.